Dear 10th standard students, welcome to History Unit 4, Opposition to British Rule in Karnataka. In first 3 lessons, you have already studied about Indian history. In this lesson, you are going to study about the history of Karnataka. The present Karnataka was scattered among various principalities before integration. Present Karnataka was divided into various principalities before its integration, especially during the period of British rule. Apart from establishing political supremacy during the later part of 18th century, the British exploited the people in agriculture. They exploited the people in trade. Why? Because in order to protect their own interests. British, in order to protect their own interests, they exploited the people of Karnataka, especially in the field of agriculture and trade. Due to all these exploitation, insecurities started in Karnataka. Due to all this exploitation, finally created some sort of insecurities across Karnataka. Along with this, the local kings suffered insecurities because of the exploitation of British. As a result, rebellions against the British happened in most of the Karnataka. In most places of Karnataka, there was a rebellion against the British. Along with this, in the beginning, the zamindars and kings battled against the British individually without attaining unity among them. They did not have any unity. Even though they fought against the British, they did not fought together. They fought against the British individually. Who? The zamindars and kings. Hyder Ali and his son Tipu Sultan put forth a strong opposition to the British by utilizing the strength of their Mysore kingdom. They also fought against the British. The political developments that emerged during 1761 to 1799 are very important here. Many political development took place in Mysore between 1761 to 1799. 1761, Hyder Ali came to power. 1799, Tipu Sultan died in the 4th Anglo-Mysore War. That's why the period between 1761 to 1799 are considered as very important. There was an important opposition mounted against the British rule in India during this period. Now let us study about Hyder Ali and Tipu Sultan. In the history of India, 18th century is considered as an important century. In other words, the 18th century is considered as the century of political problems. What are the reasons for this? There are many reasons. First important reason was the death of Aurangzeb. You might have heard about Aurangzeb in 9th standard. You have already studied about the history of Mughal rule. Aurangzeb died in the year 1707. His death was considered as the main reason for these political problems. Here, Hyder Ali, his death weakened the Mughal empire. As a result, Mughal lost political control over South India. A lot of political struggles took place in Carnatic region after his death. Due to all these reasons, 18th century is considered as a century of political problems. The main reason was the death of Aurangzeb. Before this, the death of Chikkadevaraja Wadeyar. Chikkadevaraja Wadiyar died in the year 1704. His death created the various political challenges in Mysore state. His death created the problems of succession and administration. Whose death? The death of Chikkadevaraja Wadiyar, the Wadiyar of Mysore. His death created the problem of succession and also the administration. All these developments created some sort of confusion in the politics of Mysore. In other words, we can say that all these developments clouded the politics of Mysore. Hyder Ali gained prominence in this scenario of uncertainty that clouded over the Mysore and Carnatic region. During this period, Hyder Ali assumed the power. He came to power. Hyder Ali joined Mysore army. In the beginning, he joined Mysore army as an ordinary soldier, but he was known for his shrewd political moves. He was closely observing the political developments of Mysore. He came into prominence during the siege of Devanahalli and military action against Nizam of Arcot. Along with this, he won the hearts of many soldiers. He became famous as Nawab Hyder Ali in a short time due to his strength, due to his ability. He became famous as Nawab Hyder Ali in a very short time. These are all about the achievements of Hyder Ali. Along with this, Hyder Ali was known for his innovations in arms usage. With his swift actions, he became the Dalawai and sidelined the king Krishnaraja Wadiyar II, established control over the administration. He became Dalawai, the head of the army. During that time, the Wadiyar of Mysore was Krishnaraja Wadiyar II. Hyder Ali sidelined the king Krishnaraja Wadiyar II. After that, he established his control over the administration of Mysore. The Nawab of Arcot, Marathas, and the Nizam of Hyderabad were fighting to establish their supremacy over each other and also to preserve their political existence. In this way, during that time, Nawab of Arcot, Marathas, and Nizam of Hyderabad were fighting themselves in order to establish their own supremacy over the power. And along with this, the British, the French, they were also attempting to exploit these divisions for their own benefit. Now let us discuss important Anglo-Mysore wars that took place during the reign of Hyder Ali and Tipu Sultan in this backdrop. Let us study First Anglo-Mysore War. Here you must remember these Anglo-Mysore wars were fought during the reign of Tipu Sultan and Hyder Ali. First one, First Anglo-Mysore War. It was fought between 1767 and 1769. Started in the year 1769, ended in the year started in the year 1767, ended in the year 1769. For this first Anglo-Mysore War, there were many reasons. The prominence gained by Hyder Ali in the south was not tolerated by the British. It was not liked by the British, Marathas, and the Nizam of Hyderabad. That's why the British started devising cunning plans to defeat Hyder Ali, whom they saw as an impedance for the expansionist ideas. According to the British, Hyder Ali was an obstacle for their expansionist policies. Even though Hyder Ali suffered a lot due to the Maratha aggression, he made attempts to have Marathas and Nizam of Hyderabad on his sides with little success. He was successful in getting the support of Marathas and even the Nizam of Hyderabad. The British entered into an agreement with the Maratha and the Nizam of Hyderabad against Hyder Ali. That agreement is known as a tri-party alliance. Finally, a tri-party alliance was formed between the British, Marathas and the Nizam of Hyderabad, but Hyder Ali, with manipulative ideas, he was successful in breaking the alliance. He was successful in breaking the alliance which was made between British, Marathas and the Nizam of Hyderabad. Along with this, he also created enmity and distrust among the Marathas, Nizam of Hyderabad and the British. That's why Hyder Ali was considered as an brave and intelligent Dalavai. Next, meanwhile, political disturbances emerged in Arcot. Arcot is a name of a place. It was the capital of Carnatic region. During that time, especially in the year 1767, political disturbances emerged. Political disturbances started in Arcot. In the year 1767, Hyder Ali and Nizam of Hyderabad attacked Arcot, but the king of Arcot had an alliance with the British. He had an friendship with the British. The war started with this incident, which war, First Anglo-Mysore War, started with this incident. This incident, in the sense Hyder Ali and Nizam of Hyderabad attacked Arcot, this was the specific reason or main reason for First Anglo-Mysore War. The battle took place in many places like Tiruchinappalli, Tiruvannamalai, Ambur and other places. Hyder Ali organized lightning attacks in these battles. The British military captured few places. This is all about the course of the war. The British military captured few places. Hyder Ali suffered few setbacks. The British military from Bombay joined the war. Hyder Ali considered the war was a challenge to his personal power and continued with the war. His army reached Madras by 1769 and created panic among the British. Inevitably, the British entered an agreement with Hyder Ali through Madras Treaty. First Anglo-Mysore War came to an end by the Treaty of Madras. Madras Treaty or the Treaty of Madras was signed between Hyder Ali and the British. These are all about the causes, course and the effects of First Anglo-Mysore War. Let us see Second Anglo-Mysore War. It was fought between 1780 to 1784. Here, First Anglo-Mysore War came to an end by the Treaty of Madras. This Madras Treaty had put the political developments in South India on a temporary hold. The British attempted to break the Madras Treaty when Madhav Rao attacked Srirangapatna with Maratha army. As per the conditions of Madras Treaty, British must support Hyder Ali when he was attacked by someone else. When Madhav Rao attacked Srirangapatna with Maratha army, Hyder Ali expected the British support, but the British rejected the request of Hyder Ali and went against Madras Treaty. British violated the terms of the Treaty of Madras. One reason. Another one, Mahe, the French colony, was under the hold of Hyder Ali. The British attacked Mahe and captured it. This became the reason for Second Anglo-Mysore War. The main reason for the Second Anglo-Mysore War was Mahe, which was a French colony under the control of Hyder Ali, and this Mahe was attacked by the British. Finally, it became the reason for Second Anglo-Mysore War. Now, let us see course. You have already studied that the Second Anglo-Mysore War started in the year 1780. When the war started, in the beginning, Hyder Ali gained upper hand. He had success. He captured many forts of Karnataka region. Kanchipuram was captured by Hyder Ali. The Mysore army reached till Coromandel beach. The British officers became worried. Hyder Ali attacked Arcot and captured it. He also threatened to attack Vandivash and Vellore. An army was kept in standby by the British and it was led by Sir Eyre Coote. He followed Hyder Ali's army till Pondicherry. The French refused to support Hyder Ali against the British. Hyder Ali changed his war strategy with this development. Due to all these developments, Hyder Ali had to change his war strategy. He attacked regions under British control and captured a large booty of arms and wealth during the Second Anglo-Mysore War. Hyder Ali was defeated in a battle held in Porto Novo by the British. Where was Hyder Ali defeated? Hyder Ali was defeated in a battle held in Porto Novo by British. After his defeat, it increased the confidence of the British and also changed the direction of the battle. But they suffered financial setbacks in Pulicat and Soliganuru. Meanwhile, by entering Salbai agreement, the British were successful in winning over the Marathas and Nizam of Hyderabad to their side. But during Second Anglo-Mysore War, Hyder Ali died. He was defeated in a battle held in Porto Novo by the British. But later, Hyder Ali died due to illness during the war. After his death, Second Anglo-Mysore War was continued by his son Tipu Sultan. Tipu Sultan continued this Second Anglo-Mysore War, and Tipu Sultan was waging war in Malabar region when Hyder Ali died. The British tried to take advantage of Hyder Ali's death by invading Mangalore and Bidanur. They also tried to instigate the rulers of Calicut and Malabar regions against Tipu Sultan. Tipu Sultan thought of all these developments and decided to protect Mangalore and the coastal regions. He defeated the British during the Second Anglo-Mysore War. Finally, the war came to an end by the Treaty of Mangalore in the year 1784. The Second Anglo-Mysore War came to an end by the Treaty of Mangalore in the year 1784. These are all about the reasons, course and the effects of Second Anglo-Mysore War. Now let us see about the achievements of Tipu Sultan. Tipu Sultan, he was the son of Hyder Ali. He felt that the British are the major obstacle for his policy of expansion. That's why he tried to drive them out seriously. He became the ruler of Mysore after the death of Hyder Ali. Hyder Ali died during the Second Anglo-Mysore War due to illness. Tipu Sultan understood the cunning policies of the British. Tipu Sultan considered it is his duty to drive the British out of India. He waged war against the British throughout his 17 years of rule. He waged war against the British till 1799. He had clearly understood the cunningness strategies, clever manipulations of the British. He knew that hurting the business interest of the British would taken the political strength of the British. That's why he tried to hurt the business interests of the British. He tried to organize the enemies of the British into one group. He tried to break the monopoly of the British over trade with India. These attempts further angered the British, and their enmity with Tipu Sultan grew up finally. Now let us see Third Anglo-Mysore War. You have already studied the reason for First and Second Anglo-Mysore War. Like that, for Third Anglo-Mysore War, we can see the main reason. The main reason for Third Anglo-Mysore War was the politics of Travancore. It was the main reason for this war. What was the politics of Travancore? The king of Travancore built a fort in Kochi with the help of the British and captured Ayakota and Kanganuru forts from the British. But all these developments were considered as the clear breach of Mangalore Treaty. Breach in the sense violations of the Treaty of Mangalore. The British captured Karwar, Coimbatore, Dindigul and other regions under the leadership of Meadows. Tipu Sultan entered the region of Baramahal and captured Satyamangalam. He later attempted to capture Tiruchinappalli but failed in his attempt. Meanwhile, Lord Cornwallis took over the leadership of the British Army, and this changed the course of the war. Who was the British Governor General during the Third Anglo-Mysore War? Lord Cornwallis. Lord Cornwallis was the Governor General. When he took the leadership of the British Army, this incident changed the course of war. How? The British Army captured Kolar, Hoskote, and rushed towards Bangalore under the leadership of Lord Cornwallis. Along with this, the army captured Bangalore and destroyed the fort. After capturing Bangalore, Lord Cornwallis sought the help of Marathas and Nizam of Hyderabad. To defeat Tipu Sultan, the war took another conclusive turn with the joining of Maratha and Hyderabad forces with the British. When he sought the help of Marathas and the Nizam of Hyderabad, the war took another conclusive turn here, that we must remember how Marathas captured Savanur, Gajendragada, Lakshmishwara, Hubballi and other places from Tipu Sultan. The combined army in the sense Marathas, Nizam of Hyderabad and the British marched towards Srirangapatnam by capturing fort after fort in 1792. The fort was destroyed during night by this combined army. Due to all these developments, Tipu Sultan tried to enter an agreement. All these developments made him to sign an agreement, and this agreement was inevitable for him. Finally, he signed the Treaty of Srirangapatna in the year 1792. This Treaty of Srirangapatna had unfavorable conditions, unfavorable terms. In this way, the Third Anglo-Mysore War came to an end by the Treaty of Srirangapatna. Now let us see what were the terms of Treaty of Srirangapatna. The British were successful in inserting unfavorable conditions in order to weaken Tipu Sultan. According to the Treaty of Srirangapatna, Tipu Sultan was forced to part with half of his kingdom. He was forced to pay 3 crore rupees as war damage fee and had to pledge 2 of his children as a guarantee against the payment. He was also forced to release the prisoners of war. The British withdraw the combined army from Srirangapatna after the Treaty of Srirangapatna. These were all the terms of Treaty of Srirangapatna. The terms of Treaty of Srirangapatna is very important from the exam point of view, and even the reasons for Third Anglo-Mysore War is also important. Let's move to last Anglo-Mysore War, that is Fourth Anglo-Mysore War. Fourth Anglo-Mysore War was also fought during the rule of Tipu Sultan. Tipu Sultan was defeated in the Third Anglo-Mysore War, and he took this defeat personally. Tipu Sultan took the defeat in the Third Anglo-Mysore War personally. As per the Treaty of Srirangapatna, Tipu Sultan was forced to part with half of his kingdom. He was forced to pay 3 crore rupees as war damage fee. Along with this, he had to pledge 2 of his children as a guarantee against the payment. He fulfilled all these conditions. He paid all the dues and got his children released. He also gave away the territory to the British and its allies as agreed. He claimed his right over the Malabar regions under the British occupation, but the British refused this argument. He claimed he wanted to establish his control over Malabar region, but the British did not support him. During Fourth Anglo-Mysore War, Governor General was Lord Wellesley. You have already studied about Lord Wellesley. Lord Wellesley introduced subsidiary alliance system. During that time, especially during Fourth Anglo-Mysore War, Lord Wellesley became the Governor General of India in the year 1798. The political activities against Tipu Sultan became intensified during his reign, during his period. Tipu made an arrangements to defeat the British. His attempt to form an alliance of local rulers and his closeness with the French angered Lord Wellesley further. When Lord Wellesley came to power, he came to know that Tipu Sultan was trying to form an alliance with the local rulers, and also he wanted to take the help of the British. All these incidents angered Lord Wellesley. Tipu made certain arrangements to defeat the British. He sent an ambassador to France to seek the alliance of French. When he sent his ambassador to France, this enraged the British. British got angry. They thought that an alliance between France and Tipu Sultan would threaten the existence of British in India. That's why they opposed this. Finally, another treaty containing inhuman and impractical conditions was forced upon Tipu Sultan. But Tipu Sultan rejected this. His refusal started the Fourth Anglo-Mysore War. This was the main reason. Which was the main reason? Another treaty containing inhuman, impractical conditions was forced upon Tipu Sultan. Tipu rejected this. His refusal started Fourth Anglo-Mysore War. Yes, Fourth Anglo-Mysore War was started in the year 1799, but unfortunately, the British were able to destroy the strong fort of Srirangapatna. Tipu Sultan died during Fourth Anglo-Mysore War. Tipu died while fighting against the British in the year 1799. After the death of Tipu Sultan, the British were happy that the whole India came under their rule or their control. Now let us see what were the effects of Fourth Anglo-Mysore War. Most of the territories under Tipu's rule was shared among the British, Marathas and Hyderabad Nizam because they formed an alliance during the Fourth Anglo-Mysore War. After his death, the territories of Tipu Sultan was shared or divided among the British, Marathas and the Nizam of Hyderabad. Another important effect was a small territory was handed over to the royal representatives of Mysore Wadiyars. You have already studied that Hyder Ali took the power. He got power from whom? King Krishnaraja Wadiyar II. Hyder Ali, with his swift actions, he became the Dalwai. He sidelined the King Krishnaraja Wadiyar II, established control over the administration. That means Hyder Ali took power from the King Krishnaraja Wadiyar II. After the death of Tipu Sultan, a small territory was handed over to the royal representatives of Mysore Wadiyars. That region came to be known as Mysore Princely States. Mysore Princely State. These are all about the effects of Fourth Anglo-Mysore War. Causes for Fourth Anglo-Mysore War. The effects of Fourth Anglo-Mysore War are very important from the exam point of view. Dear students, in this video, you have watched about the achievements of Hyder Ali, Tipu Sultan, and four Anglo-Mysore wars. The remaining parts we shall discuss in the next video. Thank you.